I feel like I have a unique perspective with this whole election thing because I used to be very, very far left. Like, I was one of the people having a fucking mental breakdown in 2016 when he won, right? And I didn't even like him up until 6 months ago when it became very obvious that they were like staging a coup and tried to assassinate him, and then some shit started clicking. So I'm still very new to like this whole side of things. But the thing is, like, when I when I was very far left, like radically far left, I thought I knew what was going on. Like, I genuinely believed I was informed. I thought I knew better than everybody else. And that's what these people think too. And the thing is I would get so triggered and so angry when people would question me because I didn't actually know what the hell I was talking about. Like, I thought I did, but really, I didn't actually know any policies. I didn't actually know any politics. All I actually knew was what I had seen online in mainstream media. And because everybody was saying, I just assumed it had to be right, right? And I think where a lot of this comes from is like, people just don't want to be wrong. Like, it's humbling and it's embarrassing to acknowledge that you were wrong or that you didn't know as much as you thought you did. But I would get so defensive and fly off the handle whenever somebody would question me because I didn't actually have any talking points. And the talking points I did have were inaccurate. But I didn't want to be wrong. So I just kept fucking regurgitating. I just kept echoing the same shit that I was hearing over and over again. And that's what people are still doing. And I don't blame them. I'm not mad at them because really, I mean, if you're only exposed to that, then that's what you're going to believe. But it's crazy to be on the other side of it for this election and see just how misinformed people are. And they will argue with you. And I won't have a car because they will argue with you till they're blue in the face. Like, because they are just so convinced that they're right. And I was one of those people. And the fear they're feeling is very real. I'm not invalidating the fear. It's just that the fear is not founded in anything factual. Because it's not, the things that they're scared about is it's not going to happen. It didn't happen last time. It's not going to happen this time. And it's so crazy. It's like being the sober person at a party full of drunk people.
Familiar. I am experiencing this unfamiliar feeling, and I wondered if anyone else has been feeling this way. So I'm at the dog park, and I feel so mistrustful. Like, I don't know who's on my side and who's on the other side. I mean, I know we're gonna start wearing the blue bracelets, and I think that will help. But like, does anyone else feel that? I just have this fundamental mistrust. Like, I'm just looking at everyone going, are you part of why this happens? Are you a safe person? Like, I can only imagine how the marginalized communities are feeling right now. And I also don't want people to be looking at me thinking, oh, white woman, she definitely voted for him. Like, it's a very unsettling feeling. Is anyone else experiencing that?
I am completely unhinged. I went to the grocery store, and while standing in line, I was trying to guess who voted against my rights. And I couldn't guess anymore. I was out of guesses because you're like sheep in wolf's clothing. And I just wanted to scream, who the fuck here voted against my motherfucking rights? Didn't though, mostly because my fucking throat hurt.
Did anyone else wake up today and delete their dating apps? Like, I'm not just talking like just removing the app. Like, I full on removed myself from Hinge, Bumble. Like, I didn't even think twice about it. There's no way I am letting any man near me for the next few years. I've been happily single for the past 4 years. I can wait another 4 years. I am so happy for women who have loving, supportive, safe men in their life right now. But It is way too scary to try and trust anyone right now because anything can happen. And if you know me, you know one of my biggest fears is being pregnant. God forbid that ever happens over the next few years, I'm fucked. So, no dating apps. If you are a man, don't even look at me until, you know what, ever again.
Okay, that whole Kamala speech that we heard, where she basically said, we always win. Sometimes the fight takes longer. It gives off the same vibes as sometimes people will close the door on you, and then you just gotta kick that fucker down. I think that's what she's doing right now. She's kicking that fucker down. And that's why she's so damn quiet. Because they're in there going, wait a minute, we're seeing all these people saying my vote isn't counted. They're going through and saying, what are all these people that, I see that they voted in every single damn election, right down to dog catcher, but for some reason they didn't vote in this election. And what about the return of mail-in ballots is usually 10% in this state don't return their mail-in ballots. But for some reason, this election, it's 30% of people that didn't return their ballots. And you know what she's going to do? She's going to go to court with actual evidence because she's a lawyer instead of, trust me, bro, they're broken. And we're getting our election back. We're taking our country back. I truly believe that. And I also believe that that's why we are all very upset about this, but we're our guts are calm. We know inside of our guts that this is not what reality is. We know that there's something fishy going on, and we're getting it back. I can just feel it in my bones. It's, give it a couple of weeks, and we're going to end up, there's going to be some announcement or something. Hey, everybody that didn't have their ballot counted, if you are in your state and you didn't have your ballot counted, you go to vote.org, you can come in and cast a ballot if it's already not counted. I mean, something like that's going to happen. Just watch. She's kicking that fucking door down.
We should just start leaving our dirty tampons everywhere. Because if men want so much control over us, they can deal with our dirty tampons. Clean it up. No, but genuinely, I was trying to think, what revenge sounds the most satisfying right now? And I kind of just want to fling dirty tampons at men's cars. Their trucks. Ooh.
Can someone tell me what MAGA men find attractive so that I can wear the complete opposite? Thanks.
So on election night, I went to pick up my daughter from water polo practice, and she's 12, and she got in the car and she was crying. And I said, did someone punch you? Water polo is a rough sport. I was like, did someone hit you? Did the coach yell at you? What happened? And she said, Mom, Trump won. Trump's gonna win. And what if I get raped and I need to have an abortion? This is from a 12-year-old, my 12-year-old daughter. And so it was really a reminder of how scary this time is for people, and how important it is for Democrats to have strategies, both at the state level and the federal level, to make sure that we can continue to protect people's rights.
The easiest and most effective form of protest you have right now, that you can start immediately, put a mask back on. Stop letting them observe your face. And have the side benefit of better health and protecting the rest of us in the world. Put a mask back on. Fuck this government.
For a lot of the folks, again, because of the fear and the uncertainty of what's coming, this can be a traumatic moment for them. And so I would argue that counseling is not a dramatic response, but that it's an appropriate response. And this is a healing-centered campus. Some of it was more formalized counseling services, and others were really just more intentional interactions. Come in and, do meditation coloring sheets.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize black communities, black businesses, and that. And the black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
You gotta be fucking sucking my dick right now. There's absolutely no way that I'm an election denier. I am now going to be a fucking election denier. You cannot convince me that many people that fucking hate Donald Trump, that piece of shit motherfucker, there's no way that he got the popular vote, he got the fucking House and the Senate, and the presidency. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. It really doesn't.
This morning, when I learned that Donald Trump had been elected president for a second time, the first thing I did was have a good long cry. The second thing I did was get on the phone and make a doctor's appointment for a surgical consultation to get my tubes tied. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a really long time, and I feel like now is the appropriate time to do it before my option to choose that for myself and for my body is stripped away from me. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, I am going into my doctor's office and I am going to ask her to do the surgery. When I was making my appointment, the receptionist mentioned that she saw in my chart that I had been in about 8 months ago for a consultation, and she said, "What's bringing you back? What changed your mind?" And I said, "I feel like now is the right time." And she said, "I completely understand." If having your tubes tied is something that you have been thinking about doing for a while, or you feel like it's right for you, I highly urge you to make the appointment and go get it done before you no longer have the option to do so.
I'm tired, I'm cranky, I have a cold, I'm going home early, but I'm thinking about this before I venture out into the world. We have a new situation that we got to worry about, okay? And I'm obviously a very in-your-face Trump supporter. We got these 4B people. They're saying no. They're protesting the D. They're not getting laid anymore. Listen, we already know you voted against the D in the election. Take my advice as a 52-year-old woman. Keep getting laid. You're cranky enough as it is. The last thing you need to do is stop the vitamin D, because vitamin D deficiency will make you fucking psychotic. And I'll tell you right now, I'm obviously a Trump supporter. My car, you could tell I'm a Trump supporter. I've been saying all along, listen, you want to get in my face? We could do this. But now knowing that I got these rabid fucking unlaid bitches out there trying to get in my face, I might have to think twice about it. I'm going to be like, how you doing? You want to fight me? Are you getting laid? Because if you're not getting laid, I ain't putting my life on the line, because you crazy ass bitches. Girls, don't do this to yourself, okay? Don't do it to yourself. Don't, find another way to protest. It's bad enough you're shaving your head and not wearing makeup. You're going to get rid of filters and now you're going to stop getting dick. That's not going to work out, okay? Stop eating meat or something. Do something where, the rest of the world is not going to suffer.
Y'all remember the time when they was trying to pin all them women on Donald Trump, saying that he was, I guess he did something to them or whatever. And Trump came out and said, and they called him misogynistic and called him that he didn't like women. You know where that came from? Y'all remember when that happened? Y'all remember what Trump said? I'm about to remind y'all. Because a lot of you 4B women remind me of this. When they was trying to pin all the women on him, he said, have you seen those women? The women are ugly. I ain't never dated an ugly woman. Look at my track record. All the women I dated was beautiful. Every last one of them was ugly. He said there might have been one I would have dated. He said, but she don't even know me. He said maybe one. He said all the rest of them fugly. Baby, y'all gotta go look it up. Cause I remember when Trump said that, they were so mad that he said he called the women ugly. Because look at them. They were. They were. He wasn't like, go look at that interview. He said all the women was fugly, not ugly, fugly.
You know, I honestly debated on saying that, but I really feel like someone needs to speak up. Do you know how fucking embarrassing it is to women overseas that actually don't have fucking rights? Do you know how embarrassing it is to people who can't grow hair, who have cancer? Do you realize how fucking stupid you look shaving your head because you're throwing a temper tantrum because you cannot murder a fucking child? I don't feel sorry for you in the least. I really fucking don't. It's absolutely fucking disgusting, the movement that you guys are doing, the 4B, whatever. I mean, it's great for conservatives. It's not gonna be hard to fucking spot you guys, fucking middle-aged women with bald heads, wearing blue bracelets, and yet you wanna call conservatives the stupidest party? Let me give you a rundown real quick, since you don't know your rights. You can buy a car. You can buy a house. You have a job. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom of wearing whatever clothes you wanna wear. You're not told how many babies you have to have, or can have. And it all comes down to the same cry of help. Men don't fucking care about us. That's because you're fucking terrible at picking men. And let me end on this. Somewhere out there in the world, somebody just got a notification from a doctor saying that they only have 3 months to live. And you're sitting here fucking whining about one little detail. The world does not revolve around you.
The propaganda campaign on Project 2025 that was developed and pushed by Mark Elias and Democracy Forward was perhaps the most damaging piece of propaganda to be deployed throughout this presidential cycle. This organization and their version of Project 2025, what they call the People's Guide to Project 2025, is the reason why so many women and so many people on the left are terrified of Donald Trump. The problem is they lied to you. They lied about almost all of it. And it's time to show you exactly how they did it. So the problem that we have is the Project 2025 document was over 900 pages long, and they knew that most Americans weren't going to read it. So they put together what's called the People's Guide to Project 2025. And you'll notice right down here, it says, we read Project 2025's entire 900 plus page mandate for leadership so that you don't have to. And because this guy, Mark Elias, is well known for doing this kind of stuff, they decided to take the mandate for leadership document and twist it. And in fact, attribute things to their version that aren't in Project 2025. Let me show you. They developed a glossary, if you will. And then they had content creators like this guy and many others go out and run with this. And you're going to notice that they put page numbers next to each of these bullet points. Like the second one on here says a complete ban on abortion without exceptions, and then banning contraceptions. And then they put page numbers next to it as though it's supposed to give it some authority because they know you're not actually going to go read those pages. Like, for example, that list that I just showed you, the topic of banning contraceptions, it says that on page 449, it specifically talks about banning contraceptions. Well, here's page 449 in its entirety. Contraception is not even mentioned, even once, not even a reference to it. There's no mention whatsoever of contraceptions on page 449. And yet, in the list that was created and is being promoted, the third one down, it says ban contraceptions, page 449. Well, there's page 449. Pause it. Go read it. Not even a reference to it. And did you know that you can actually go read pages 449 through 503 where it talks about a complete ban on abortion without exception? Well, what's really weird is that when you go to those pages, it doesn't talk about a complete ban on abortion at all. As a matter of fact, it lays out multiple goals where we talk about protecting life and where they talk about empowering patient choices and provider autonomy. And if you go further down, it starts to talk more and more about the chemically induced abortions and how to protect women because of the severe risk associated with it. Nowhere in pages 449 through page 503 does it talk about a complete ban on abortion without exception. And further, did you know that the Supreme Court ruled back in June of 2024, before they started the Project 2025 propaganda campaign, that unanimously that they could not restrict or ban chemical abortion? Did you know that? I guarantee you they knew it. Problem is they just didn't care. You see, the reason why so many people are terrified of Donald Trump and the Republican Party is specifically because of that guy right there. If you don't know who he is, you need to go do some research on him, his role in Perkins Coie and the Steele dossier and the Russian collusion hoax and all the propaganda campaigns that have been running because of him. So folks, I hope you help me get this video over to the other side of this platform, to those people who are terrified, so they understand that the vast majority of what they came to believe throughout this election cycle was not true. It was a lie. And it's not their fault because they did it on purpose. Democracy Forward is responsible for what they came to believe to be true about Project 2025 because none of them ever read it. And Democracy Forward knew they weren't going to read it. That's why they lied to them.
Every day it never ceases to amaze me what these people will go, what ends they'll go to. But we were crazy for January 6th, right? Let me proceed. Oh, yes, indeed.
Aqua Tofana was not traceable back then. I just want everyone to know that it would be traceable now.
Yeah.
If they suspected it. They would have to do a toxicology.
I'm sure they're going to do it on everybody now.
I'm just saying, heart disease is on the rise.
That's because of the cupcakes. That's why.
Kind of medicine.
That's why they ate too many cupcakes.
Voting for rights.
What the fuck? Is that your poison? Great, so it's not just the men they want to kill, it's the women too. Woo, thank God I got them 3 little things in me. Click, click.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You ladies
Mega.
are and I appreciate
Thanks,
you hanging
girl.
on to your sense of humor. We're gonna need it right
Anytime.
because if you don't laugh, you cry.
We are. It is crazy out in these streets,
about,
huh?
Maca, I'm
Mega.
wearing a black shirt with an Italian flag that says Maca because we know
Mega,
what that means.
M-A-G-A?
But if anybody asks me, I'm gonna say, oh, I'm an Italian American. That's an old Italian tradition developed in Sicily.
I need to get my notepad.
Aspire
I think
to
she
wear
needs a
black
white jacket.
for the rest of their lives.
Remember that Manson picture where they shaved their heads? What the fuck?
If your body
No one ever said that.
maybe, but it's your sandwich. My place is.
Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Now you want to kill men and women because of that? They are full of so much fucking joy. What the fuck, man? This is too much joy for me, okay, you guys? I need you to simmer down on the joy. Thank God I have pretty nice little things upstairs for anything I come across. Love you, bye.
And to the people in the back talking about they gonna leave the country. Bye! That's what the hell we want y'all to do. Get the hell out! Thank you. Go somewhere else so you can find out how oppressed you really gonna be. Since you wanna sit up here and complain about the best country in the world. The hell wrong with you? Get the heck going. Taxis are right around the corner. You can get the first plane ticket the fuck on away from around here. We don't give a damn. And then when you find out, don't come the fuck back. Keep that same energy over the fuck there. Thank you. And Hawaii is the United States. Damn, y'all don't even know the damn map. Dumbass. Just get on my nerves. They taught us that shit in the 3rd damn grade. How the fuck you gonna leave the United States but you going to Hawaii? No child left behind. No wonder they created it. No child left behind. So we're talking to the No Child Left Behind community.
You know, in all the discourse that we're seeing in the media and on social media, it's become quite clear that we're not merely dealing with mental illness on the political left. It's not just a simple case of sour grapes. I think what we're seeing is something much, much deeper. It's wickedness. It's pure evil. And not to castigate an entire group of people, but we must acknowledge that there does exist on the political left a significant group of people who would be happy to watch the world burn. And no matter how successful Donald Trump is during his administration, or even now in the first 3 days after being elected, those people are always going to do as much as they can to undermine those successes and paint it as something harmful. So I have a message for those people. We, the silent majority, who openly rebuked the Democrat Party and all of your demonic politics, are here to say to you that we're not going to allow you to take over this conversation in this country again. And we understand that Donald Trump is the pilot of this plane, and we're not going to let you crash it in order to prove yourselves right. Peace.
I heard on the radio this morning that over 2,700 people took their lives after the election yesterday. And that's not because of Trump or his supporters. That's because the Harris campaign and the fake news and the propaganda that they spread, the hate that they spread this entire election. The lies they told, telling people, Project 2025, he's going to take away your rights, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. When he's spoken against it, every single time it was brought up. Even at the debate to her face, he told her, I have nothing to do with that. The Heritage Foundation, who wrote Project 2025, came out and said, yeah, Donald Trump had nothing to do with this. And she knew that. She fear-mongered people into voting for her because they thought that their lives literally depended on her. People still do, so much so that now they're ending their lives thinking that their life is over, that they're going to be losing all their rights. Like it's going to be like The Handmaid's Tale. It's so sad. The mental health crisis that we have going on in our country right now, and that her campaign did not help anybody. It made people believe this fairy tale that wasn't true. Donald Trump is the most pro-choice president as a Republican that we've ever had. Administration started a global effort to end the criminalization of the gay community in places like Iran, where they're literally hanging people who are gay. Donald Trump was the first president we've ever had who had an openly gay member in his cabinet. Donald Trump has hosted gay weddings at his house in Mar-a-Lago. Donald Trump was pro-gay marriage before any of your Democratic leaders were. In the late 90s, early 2000s, when they were all saying they're not for gay marriage, he's always been for gay marriage. He won an Ellis Island Award, and you can't win that award if you have a hint of racism in you. Never once did he get called a racist until he ran for president and won. All these lies are the reason that so many people left the Democratic Party in this election. And I'm so sad for the people that are still so brainwashed and truly believe the lies that are being spewed. Like, you think that me as a woman and a mother to a teenage daughter and my sons, you think that I would vote against her rights. You think that 60% of the country who voted for Donald Trump would vote against women, against our children, against our gay friends and family. No, we wouldn't. And I want you to know, news people and Kamala Harris, all of these people ending their lives, that's on you. All of the division in our country right now, the hate, the ending of relationships, friendships, families, that's on you. You pushed this fake news agenda. You put fear in the hearts of so many people, and it's devastating to see. The breakdowns, as funny as it is to see people breaking down and screaming, people have mental health crisis like we've never seen before in our country, and you made it worse. Shame on you. Shame on you. And everybody that's scared right now, I'm sorry, and you have a right to be scared. You do. I get it. You were told a lot of lies, but I want you to know that it's going to be okay. And please trust that 60% of Americans who voted for Donald Trump and believe in what he believes in, you're going to be safe and it's going to be okay. Like, as a mother, I'm telling you, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through this. Our country is going to be in a better place than we've been in a long time. You're not going to lose any rights. I promise it's going to be okay. Please just know that. Your life is important. No matter who you are, no matter what you believe, your life is worth living. And I'm so sorry about the last few months and all the lies that you've been told, but it's just simply not true. And I love you.
The Democratic Party is so narcissistic and self-absorbed, and it's honestly a demonic oppression. I'm gonna tell you a few examples. The same women who claim it's racist and sexist not to vote for a woman are the same women who wouldn't vote for Candace Owens if she was running for president, even though she's a black American woman. The same women who scream "my body, my choice" are the same women not giving their body inside their body a choice. The same people who scream cultural appropriation are the same people who voted for somebody who puts on a different accent depending on what audience she's talking to. The same people preaching about love and acceptance are the same people cutting off family members and friends for not having the same opinion as them. Also calling us a cult. Isn't that what cults do? The same people who keep talking about rape are the same people who are voting for open borders when there's been 15,000 people raped and sexually assaulted by illegal immigrants.